It's Rose Rosetree, this time in my role as an Enlightenment Coach, something that's very, very dear to my heart, along with the other specialties of Rosetree: energy, spirituality for long, and for short, RES. Today I'd like to give you a tip for moving toward enlightenment in the age of awakening. You could also consider it a tip if you've always wanted to become psychologically self-actualized, because they're really different languages for the same thing. Before I give you this tip, let me tell you a little about my credentials as an enlightenment coach, because for just about any kind of consumer choice that you make, it's smart to consider the source, So where I come from in this specialty is that starting in 1970, I was active as someone who was trained by Maharishi Mahesh Yogi as a teacher of transcendental meditation. And pursuing enlightenment was really the most important thing, pretty much the only important thing to me for a very long time, although now I'm actually enjoying life. And actually, it has happened that I've moved into that state of enlightenment. When I left teaching TM, I began to teach and use the specialties of RES to help people with energy healing, powerful skills that wake up the soul. And I also was using skills of energy reading or aura reading through all your senses to help discern what was really going on with people and their state of consciousness. And then I wound up having the skill set develop of empath empowerment to help empaths like me stop being ineffective and suffering and confused and wake up more. And as I had been using these specialties myself and using them to help clients, some of my clients moved into enlightenment, and I could research it on them. And I began to maintain a separate list at my blog of people in this very loosely bound RES community who had moved into enlightenment. And you can find that at my blog, along with a long enlightenment life list of people who never heard of RES, and plenty of other resources too. It's all at roserosetree.com. Anyway, the source for what I do is that I have skills for co-creating with God. I'm not a psychic, wonderful though psychic work can be. I'm not a psychologist. I don't have credentials in that field, but I really do work in a way that uses skills that are effective now in the age of awakening, which began December 21st, 2012. Skills that are effective for helping people like you to evolve on your chosen path to enlightenment, to self-realization, to self-actualization. So that's where I come from, and I never flinch at letting aura readers look at me in a video and research what's going on with me, or have a reasonably current photo of me at my website and my blog, because you're invited to check out the state of consciousness that I've got and decide whether I have the standing to help you in that way. Meanwhile, about that tip for evolving most rapidly now in this age of awakening that we're in. Many things are different now compared to before. And one thing that's different is that the balance between doing things for personal development, symbolized by this bell, and just living your life. The balance between this is off for a lot of people, because anything we do for personal development now is so much more powerful. You're hearing me talk as someone who has spent years of my life where the main thing I did was meditate. God, those days are over. I'm glad we're living now. A lot of us have done heroic things to attempt to evolve. And now we don't need that. I recommend 20 minutes a day by the clock of whatever technique time you wish to do. And that's your golden time. That's your evolutionary time. The rest of your waking hours, cut it out. Live your life. And by doing that, you will stabilize the amazing, extraordinary things that can happen to you in consciousness now without your trying, so that you can become established in that state of consciousness where you are using your potential in life. And to be very, very clear about this, for thousands of years, even hundreds of years, before the world moved into this age of awakening, meditation or other spiritual exercises, they really were required if you wanted to have experience and not just pious hymn singing. Granted, I love singing hymns and I do it when I have a chance, but it's not necessarily, back in the day, something that would really promote growth of consciousness. Now, it doesn't have to be meditation. It does not have to be spiritual exercise. You could be doing some beautiful, profound psychological self-exploration. You could be doing energy reading skills, like learning to read auras from regular photos, which of course you might know I can teach you to do and do great. You might be singing hymns and feeling those hymns as you sing them. You might be doing just about anything that moves your consciousness in a way that is interesting to you. But for heaven's sake, 20 minutes, that's my tip. More will not bring you more. 20 minutes and go as fast as you can. I'd love someday to have you on my Enlightenment Life list. By the way, to look at that, to look at the resources that I offer, including personal sessions of energy, spirituality to help with emotional and spiritual growth, just go to my website. It's roserosetree.com and check out what seems meaningful to you.